First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Occupy Norfolk. The Wall Street protesters have been there for weeks.
We are not here to enrage a riot.
So what are their plans, and what is the city planning to do about these protesters? And
why are you paying more for peanut butter at the grocery store? We came out to a Suffolk peanut farm to find out why. Hear why the family who planted these won't see a dime.
Plus, hear which banks are saying no to making you pay for using your debit card.
We're working breaking news out of Virginia Beach.
That's where police are investigating explosives found in a car on Deary Lane.
10 on your side's Jason Marks is there gathering the late-breaking developments for us. Jason, what can you tell us at this point?
Well, we can tell you that the bomb squad has just cleared the scene here on Deary Lane. They've been out here for hours. Now, let me show you exactly where this investigation is focusing. You can see that home right there. A couple of investigators still here. Now, it's in the backyard of that home. We're told that an elderly man lives inside that house here on Deary Lane. Now, earlier today, his family called Virginia Beach Fire wanting to know how to properly dispose of some dynamite. Crews rushed out here, and they found inside an old rusted car. In the trunk of that car, they found several sticks, the remnants of dynamite. Now, the elderly man once used the explosives for work, but forgot they were in his car. They've been there for more than 30 years. Now, over time, rain has caused the sticks to decompose. The bomb squad did ask the neighbors on either side of this house to leave just for precautionary measures. They then dug a hole, put those remnants inside the hole, and set them on fire. And what they did essentially is just burn those remnants off. Now, crews are now out here still waiting for a professional cleanup company, a company that really specializes in chemicals, dynamite, to come out here. And what they're going to do is they're going to get out and they're going to go ahead and dispose of any other chemicals that are behind this house. But for now, what little threat there was, crews say, to begin with, is now over. No charges here, we're told, because the family did exactly what they're supposed to do. They called for help. Those sticks of dynamite were just forgotten about, so there's nothing criminally wrong here. But fire officials say everything that could have worked out did work out because everything was done right in this case. That's the latest here in Virginia Beach. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
All right, thanks, Jason. Well, it's a big night for kids all across Hampton Roads.
So, will your little ghosts and goblins be chilly out there tonight? Chief Meteorologist Don Slater's in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center. Ooh, with the trick-or-treat forecast.
Did you make that up, Don? That
Very
little graphic?
nice.
No, actually, I think our graphics department made that one up.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I think they can just have fun with stuff like that. Here's a look at what's going on right now. It's going to be a close call, but I think we are going to get Halloween in for the kids. Now, a little bit more touch and go out toward I-95. As you can obviously see, a little rain out there going on right now. You can see it in Northampton County. And again, anywhere near I-95, you might have to race the rain just a bit. But for the most part, things are looking pretty good. Here's what's going on with our Halloween forecast for tonight. For most, that part was my part, the wolf howl. Mostly cloudy skies, east winds at about 10 miles an hour. 55 degrees at about the time that the kids head on out, which is pretty soon right now. It's around 58, 60 degrees. It'll drop to around 53 degrees. And again, it does look like that rain should hold off for most of the area. And again, our Halloween is pretty well done with once we get to about 7:30 into the area across most of the area. So enough of that. Anyway, we got some rainfall overnight, but not so much while the trick-or-treaters are out, so we're looking pretty good. We'll tell you more about our forecast in a few minutes.
A chilling look at the weather, to say the least. Well, it's what many local leaders wanted. Now, Fort Monroe is about to become a national monument. All it will take will be a signature from President Obama. Then on your side's Ava Hurdle now is live in Hampton with that story. Ava?
Tom, on Tuesday, President Barack Obama is set to make Fort Monroe a national treasure.
That is 10:45.
Comic books, new and old, are perhaps the main attraction at Bander's Books in Phoebus.
We've always had people come in from other parts. And a lot of times the military coming through would bring a list of books they were looking for, or they had friends looking for, so that was always fun.
He figures business is down about 20% since Fort Monroe shut down, but thinks making it a national monument will bring customers back and bring tourists too, like Reverend Paul Baranek of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He's here to see history at the old post.
Frankly, I'm surprised it's as large as it is. So I hope many people will be able to get down here and see some of our history. we're very proud of what has happened, and we hope that it will be a success as tourists come from around the world, probably.
That's what community leaders are hoping for.
We'll now be a national destination for tourists. We believe it'll be a boom to the economy and the jobs in the area as more and more people visit our wonderful Fort Monroe.
Making Fort Monroe a national monument, civic leaders say, is the result of a bipartisan lobbying effort. Now, just where will the people living here go once this becomes a national monument? Well, that's part of our story coming up tonight at 6. We're live in Hampton. Ava Hurdle, 10 on your side.
And President Obama came to Hampton Roads 2 weeks ago, and now it's our turn. I'm going to sit down with the president tomorrow at the White House, where he's going to answer some pointed questions about where Virginia fits in his plan for jobs. 10 on your side will also take you behind the scenes at the White House. You'll see my exclusive interview with President Obama starting tomorrow at 5.
Old Dominion University issued a campus alert after a late-night incident involving 2 women. Police say the women were walking home from a bar at around midnight when 3 men in an SUV stopped them on 49th Street between Elkhorn and Powhatan Avenues. They were talking to the men when one of them tried to pull the women into the vehicle. The women got away and called police. ODU sent a letter to the campus with safety tips that include walking on well-lit paths and streets and with others, and using the campus Safe Ride and Escort Service program.
Suffolk police are looking for the suspect they say hit a 7-Eleven employee in the head with a baseball bat. This happened early yesterday morning during the robbery at the store on Godwin Boulevard. Investigators say the suspect stole money from the register. The victim's injuries, we're told, are not life-threatening.
It started as a peaceful demonstration in New York City, but as the Occupy Wall Street movement continues to spread across the nation, so are arrests and confrontations. The protest against corporate America is evolving into a debate over freedom of speech versus city ordinances. Occupy Norfolk remains downtown, but with the holiday shopping season upon us, how long will the city tolerate it? We sent Art Kahn to find out.
The tide continues to roll downtown, but protesters with Occupy Norfolk say they have no immediate plans to go anywhere.
We are here as a nonviolent organization. We are not here to enrage a riot.
Shame on you! But there has been some violence in other cities where police have started arresting protesters who have defied orders to break camp.
Cities all over the country that are really just becoming more violent.
But some legal experts say cities where police have begun making arrests are walking a tight line when it comes to the rights of free speech versus unlawful assembly.
There's a built-in conflict. People have an absolute right to protest.
Norfolk attorney Peter Decker, who is also a substitute judge, says as long as the protest is orderly, the protesters are protected by their constitutional right to free speech. But do they have a right to occupy Main Street?
If they're on public property, that's very questionable whether you can move them.
But at some point you have to wonder, how long can the city of Norfolk allow a tent city right in the heart of its downtown district? Well, it's hard to say, but one thing seems to be reasonably sure. Neither side wants a confrontation.
There's really not been a talk of relocating them. It is coming up on a month that they've been there. And again, we're still working through the permitting process with them.
The permit to occupy Norfolk expires on November 4th. If the city chooses not to renew it, will the group comply or resist?
I'm not going to speak for the whole on whether we're going to move or not, whether we're going to leave or not. As long as we have the permit, we'll be here. And if we don't have the permit, some people may choose to stay in spite of such.
For now, Camp Norfolk remains quiet. Art Kahn, 10 on your side.
City officials say the protesters have been very orderly and compliant. The occupation is over in Richmond. Overnight, police removed the Occupy Wall Street protesters from a city plaza. Police used bulldozers to scoop up the tents and belongings they left behind. Officers cited or arrested 9 people when they refused to leave. They'd been there since October 17th. A word on why police ended the occupation.
Well, the driver who hit and killed a Chesapeake crossing guard earlier this month now faces charges. Tiara Blees says that the sun was in her eyes, and that's why she didn't see Lavette Pearson in front of Western Branch Intermediate School. Now, Pearson died at the hospital. Police originally said no charges would be filed against Blees, but later charged her with reckless driving.
We're going to take a look through the WAVY traffic jam cams now. Some breaking news, an incident there on the Berkeley Bridge. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, the westbound lane's an accident there, and that's stopping up traffic going into the tunnel towards Portsmouth. So this is an area you want to avoid. Now it looks like, Nicole, one lane is getting through.
Yeah, but still quite a parking lot there, especially at this hour during the rush. So folks are going to have to take it easy there. Berkeley Bridge, 264 westbound.
It's a trick-or-treating ordinance that hits teens hard if they knock on your door tonight. But who enforces that law, and what does it mean for your kids? We'll have the answers coming up.
Sticker shock for a family favorite. 10 on your side talked to a local farmer about why we are shelling out more money for peanut butter.
No other way to say it, a Halloween weekend travel nightmare. Even the pilots asked for help here.
Look, we can't seem to get any help from our own company.
You're going to hear from some of the people stranded on planes for hours.
A mix of snow, sleet, and rain created dangerous driving conditions in Maryland. Police were already on the scene of another accident Sunday morning when a man lost control of his SUV and crashed into a light pole. More than 585,000 people in Massachusetts woke up in the dark and cold this morning. Their power is still out after this weekend's unusual October snowstorm. Look at that there, heavy snow on trees, still filled with leaves, put a lot of pressure on the branches and caused trees to tumble onto the power lines.
Millions were in the dark at one point this weekend. Saturday's snowstorm also created a travel nightmare in Connecticut. 23 flights were diverted to Hartford, including 6 JetBlue flights. Passengers say they were stuck on the tarmac for 8 and 9 hours. No food, no water, and yes, the bathrooms were backed up. Even the pilots were frustrated.
They're filled. They're totally filled. Nobody can go in them anymore. You just have to hold it.
Hours going in and out, bathrooms are locked. People are quite upset.
Look, we can't seem to get any help from our own company. I apologize for this, but is there any way you can get a tug and a tow bar out here to us and get us towed somewhere to a gate or something? I don't care. Take us anywhere.
Wow, rarely you hear that from a pilot on a major airline. The Airline Passenger Bill of Rights is supposed to prevent this. JetBlue is apologizing, saying power outages at the airport compounded the situation, and now the Department of Transportation is investigating this.
Doctors are now changing their recommendation for who should receive regular HIV testing. We're on your side with the new screening device.
Prices are flying high as Peter Pan. 10 on your side, bracing you for the sticker shock. You're going to hear what a local farmer said about new peanut butter prices and what's behind them.
And don't forget to check out the Halloween guide on WAVY.com for trick-or-treat times where you live.
Also, click on the link that will show you locations for local candy buyback programs.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Ribas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Oh, say it ain't so. Get ready for sticker shock at the supermarket. The price of peanut butter is going up.
Planters is the first company to raise its prices, tacking on an extra 40% per jar. We sent 10 on your side Stephanie Harris to Suffolk, the home of Mr. Peanut himself, to find out why.
Well, Nicole, Tom, like many of you, my family goes through a lot of peanut butter, about a jar a week, so I'm always conscious of the price. And last night when I went shopping, I found that the Planters here was the least expensive at $2.09. Now, a 40% increase would put it at $2.93. Now, this is a huge increase, but still, it's less than some peanut butters that were already over $3 a jar, and they're going to go up to more than $4 a jar in the next few weeks.
Kids and peanut butter. They go together well like peanut butter and jelly.
It's kind of like a mother's best friend.
But many moms feel their friend is betraying them and want to know why. 10 on your side went to Suffolk, the birthplace of Mr. Peanut, to find out.
I hate to see the price of peanut products go too high.
Fourth-generation farmer David Boselman wants you to know he's not getting rich. He's harvesting now, but the price for this crop was set last winter.
They're not traded on the Chicago Board of Trade like grains or cotton and some of the other things, and the price It doesn't have a tendency to go up or down in a way you can see what it's doing or anticipate what it's going to do.
What it did can be explained by simple supply and demand. People are eating more peanut butter in the down economy, but there are fewer peanuts to make it, thanks to a drought in the biggest peanut-producing states, and fewer farmers are planting them.
Bosselman says at least half the farm families out in Suffolk have given up growing peanuts and turned to cotton, where they can make a lot more money.
And we stayed in the peanut business, but we decreased the amount of acres and the amount of peanuts we were making.
Today, he and his sons are racing Mother Nature to get the last of the crop out of the field ahead of forecasted rain and cold that could hurt what's left in this short supply. While moms race to store shelves to stock up ahead of the inevitable increase.
Now, you may have noted there that Virginia is not among the top peanut producing states. In fact, most of the peanuts grown here aren't used for peanut butter at all. They're used as seed for the next year's crop, or as the good old ballpark crack them open and eat them kind of peanuts. Stephanie Harris, 10 on your side.
Now, in high definition, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
We have some rainfall into the region, but not directly within our area. Northampton County, North Carolina, you might see a little bit of a sprinkle every now and then, and right along I-95. But basically, this is starting to get out of our region. So again, we're likely to hold off for the next hour or so, at least, in terms of rainfall. However, some areas inland toward I-95 are going to get some of that rainfall, perhaps western Southampton County, into Southampton County Central as well, perhaps Sussex County. But for now, things are relatively quiet. A couple of stray sprinkles across Hatteras Island. The rest of the area just cloudy or mostly cloudy for right now, so we're looking pretty good. But we are going to see some overnight showers. Now you'll note this little band, this kind of a leaf area of cloud cover and rain right on into here. That has been developing now today, and that'll likely lift northward. You can see it developing and lift northward, and it's going to lift northward right over the top of us. We are going to see some rainfall overnight. Now here's where things are at midnight tonight. We'll take you through the next couple of days and show you what's going on. That moves offshore as a pretty good sized storm. Now remember back to Saturday, how could we forget all the wind that we had? Well, what happened was the low pressure moved right on in over the top of our area and then really blossomed just to our north. It really exploded into being and kicked in with some very strong winds. Well, this will kick in with some wind, not as strong as it was on Saturday, but we'll see some northerly winds throughout the area. It'll be at least breezy, if not out and out windy coming up during the afternoon tomorrow. There's our rainfall into the area now. 3 hours, 4 hours from now, we're likely to see a lot more rainfall into the region. Light easterly winds and becoming east-northeasterly at 10 miles an hour by 2 o'clock in the morning. And then by 7 o'clock, again, the storm kind of kicks into being. It kicks in with some northerly winds into the area, 20 to 30 for a short time in the afternoon. And there's where we are by the end of the day, 10 to 20 miles an hour. A few stray clouds moving back on through later on in the day. But basically, the rainfall happens overnight. The bulk of the day tomorrow looks fine. Lots of sunshine during the day on Wednesday. Northeast winds 5 to 10 to end the day. Now, overnight, we could see anywhere from 1/10 of an inch all the way on up to about 1/2 an inch, 1/3 of an inch, 1/2 an inch of rainfall into the area as this moves on in. Here's what's going on right now. We've got skies which are cloudy throughout most of the area. There are a couple of breaks every now and then. It's around 58, 60 degrees. Light jacket for the kids underneath the costume. 62 was our high for the day. 38 was our low last night. So again, we start off obviously very cold into the area. Here's what we've got going on overnight. By midnight, we're going to see some rainfall into the area, but it should end really by close to 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tomorrow during the day, we'll see some wind off and on during the day. 61 for a high, 65 on Wednesday. Next shot at rain comes up on this coming Friday.
New breast cancer research, the results of a study on the risk for women with a family history.
He's working with his colors and trying to differentiate between the different colors that we have.
And how about this? Are toddlers really too young to use tablet computers? Why some doctors are now saying it could delay their development. That's new at 5:30.
Testing for the breast cancer gene gives women the opportunity to take their health into their own hands, providing options for preventing the disease like frequent mammograms or having their breasts surgically removed. Before, all they could do was just treat it. BRCA1 and 2 mutations increase the risk for developing breast and ovarian cancer by as much as 20 times. Past studies suggested women who didn't have the gene that runs in the family had a higher than average risk for the disease. But that research compared women with relatives who had the gene to the general population. Stanford University School of Medicine experts compared the test group to those who had relatives with other types of breast cancer.
We did not find a greatly elevated risk for breast cancer. And so I think that negative test can be reassuring to them.
Doctors now say women who test negative for the breast cancer gene but have family members who are carriers should follow the same mammogram recommendations as the general population.
And there's a new recommendation for all sexually active teens: get regular HIV tests. Doctors also urge teens over 16 be tested if they live in an area with a high rate of HIV infection. The American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending this, saying nearly half of young people infected with HIV do not know it. Dropping debit card fees. More banks are backing off their plans. You're going to hear which ones are letting customers keep more of their money.
But as banks drop some fees, hotels are tacking hidden costs to your bill. Still ahead at 5:30, which previously free services you could get charged for during your next stay.
Hey there, Tom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you, hello, Katie.
Hey, check, 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 1, 2, 1, 2.
Thank you, hello, Stephanie.
Hi, check, check, check. I'm going to do that. I need to because...
Wells Fargo joined the list of banks that will not charge customers to use their debit cards, while the backlash over Bank of America's $5 monthly fee continues. SunTrust Bank says it will stop charging a $5 per month fee using debit cards and return the fees collected to its customers. Chase, Citigroup, PNC, all among several other banks that also decided against charging the fee. Bank of America says it needs to recoup revenue lost to new regulations that limit fees they can collect from retailers for handling debit card transactions. That bank also received millions of customer complaints, and it's reportedly considering ways for customers to avoid debit card fees, like using direct deposit, maintaining a minimum balance, or using a Bank of America credit card. Stay with us. WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.